What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to finish the rear of the Z and try to get this thing a little bit more stancy boy. We got our rear traction arms and our rear tow arms in from Voodoo 13. So they're right here. So we'll be tackling that here in a minute. We got the back of the car faced in this way, so we just jack it up, take the wheels off. We also got in a fresh set of Nismo floor mats from Z1. So we'll get those crusty floor mats out and replace those. And then over here, I have taken my mirrors apart to paint them black because we got some carbon fiber covers and I didn't like the little bit of red that was protruding from the cover. So I figured it would flow a little bit better if the mirror was black. So we went ahead and sprayed those. So those are just kind of finishing up drying a little bit. And then we'll get those put back on. So that's where we're at. So let's go ahead and start with these floor mats and then jack up the car. Yeah, right there. Tag straight from Nissan. Ooh, these are gonna look so good. Oh yeah, they fit so good. Too dark because of window tint, but they fit so good. So I'm pretty happy with that. They fit perfectly. The reason why I did is the driver's side was starting to rip from where it hooked in the back. And those were a good price. So we went in and picked those up. It's the little things. It'll tie in the interior a little bit more as long as the dog doesn't get in there and blow hair everywhere. But yeah, so that's good. So now let's jack up the rear of this car and get these wheels off. Okay, so we got the first side done. Everything is in. It was a little tricky to kind of figure out how to get the correct adjustment, and we have just kind of an eyeball toe alignment, enough that we can roll around on for until we can get to an alignment shop in the next day or two. But here's where we're at right now. So I'll give you guys a little difference. So here's the driver's side. That isn't done yet. Here's the passenger side. Never straight down does it look like it's that much more sunk in than the other side. But if you were to look at this from the rear or the back, if you were to look at this from the rear or the front, it's quite a bit more camber. The side that's not done. Plus, I feel like the minute I drive it out of the garage, things will kind of settle and it might settle in a little bit more. But for now, I'll be happy with that. The fitment's a little bit better and that's all we wanted. But I'll show you the differences in these right now. So here is our Voodoo 13 tow arm. You make the adjustments from both sides. Nice little joint up here. And here is the stock tow arm. So quite a bit different, a little bit lighter, but Just getting rid of this big bulky bucket. The only problem is that we're gonna have to keep these if we ever go bags, like I'm kind of hoping to within the next year. We'll have to put these back on, unfortunately, because that's how a bag setup works on a Z. And then same thing, just smaller. This is gonna be your camber arm, but just look at the difference. Way more beefy. I feel more confident on this than I do this. This is, I didn't realize how little this was. So let's go ahead and jack this up, bust the driver's side off, get these on, and roughly eyeball the line, and we'll call this one done. Okay, so for a little trick, you're going to want to loosen up the sway bar on both ends right here, just enough to pull it down so you can pull that camber bolt out, and we're gonna, yeah, and then you can drop the camber arm. The toe arm is pretty simple. It just goes from right here to there on either side. And yeah. So now that we have that done, our axles look good. We're not ripping boots yet, so that's good. But now that we have that done, we'll pull a measurement off the other side for the arms so we can duplicate that. And then we should be able just to bolt them in and call it good. After hours and hours of jacking up the car, making slight adjustments, setting it down, checking the ride height, checking the toe, making more adjustments, I think we finally have it. Enough to at least be able to roll on for a little bit and then get into an alignment shop and pray I can get the toe corrected on this car if it's out at all. But we got it, we're good. We got another little goodie that came in this morning. So we got a rear diff brace from Megan Racing that we'll throw on. Hopefully that will stiffen up the rear a little bit more too. We also went through and the rear coils on this car were all messed up. I just took them off the old car and threw them on here and they were fine. It wasn't until we added an excessive amount of camber that I realized that the heights were off and the preloads were off. So we went through and we added some preload and matched it to the rear and then got the ride height dialed in. So hopefully we won't bite one of our fenders while we roll like this for the next week or so until our over fenders come in. But that's done. This is what it looks like. Still a little bit of a gap there, but I'm worried that the springs are soft enough that it's just going to compress. But we'll see what happens. Maybe I might have to forego some stuff for a while and upgrade to BCs. So I'm going to jack the car up one more time, take the wheels off, give everything a quick glance over, tighten everything down one last time, throw on that diff brace, and then we'll set it fully down on the ground and take it for a test drive. Alright, so we got all that finished yesterday just in time to get the car washed and go out for a little cruise with the boys. But it's way too low. I couldn't even cross the street over there for the hump. Like, I got beached kind of over there. The bottom touches everywhere. I think it's mainly my exhaust though, because the way NVIDIA is set up, it hangs super low. So we might look into more of a high clearance exhaust. If anybody has any recommendations that is still 2.5 inch. I don't know if everything goes to 3, but anyways, drop it down in the comments below. I'd love to take a look at what you guys think. But we need to raise it back up, and here's why. I'll drop a little snip from last night. So yeah, so even on acceleration on flat ground, we're still revving, and I think my spring rate is just too soft. But you can see we're touching, caught the paint right there. So I think for now we're just gonna raise the coils up a little bit, but I'm still on the hunt for new coilovers that might be a little bit stiffer and a whole new wheel setup. So we'll see what happens. You guys stay tuned. We've got a bunch more stuff that literally just came in today. And yeah, so stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.